I'd like to call the May board meeting for the Board of Supervisors meeting for Lancaster County to order. And would you please rise and join with me, with Mr. Palin in the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Our first item on our agenda tonight is our public input session. Is there anyone in attendance who would like to address the Board of Supervisors? And just a reminder, you can discuss anything at this time that is not on the agenda tonight to be brought up. Is there anyone? Okay, seeing none, is there anyone online, Glenn?
No, sir, Mr. Chairman.
All right, the public input session is closed. All right, next item on our agenda is our VDOT report with David and Mike.
Hey, good evening. It's good to be here with you all tonight. On our report, we've completed a slope repair on Point Laurel Drive. We worked on pothole patching countywide. We did grade Field Trial Road. We've done pipe repairs and a couple replacements on Regina Road, Woods Road, Granville Bay, and Chesapeake Drive. And then we've addressed work orders throughout the county. Upcoming, we have brush removal to do on Bewdley and Sage Hill. We have pipes to clean on Greentown and Mosquito Point. We have a pipe to replace on Weems Road. We have some shoulder stabilization to do down Windmill Point. And we have asphalt patching to do on all the pipes we've replaced. And then the litter removal and mowing starts next week. We've authorized the contractor to start next week. And we'll continue to keep up with work orders across the county. Plant mix schedule is under construction. Cape seal schedule is under construction. Surface treatment has not started yet. They'll get underway later this summer. Skipping down under the structure and bridge, just a reminder, actually before that, the HSIP, those pedestrian signals in Kilmarnock are still planned to start anytime. I'm waiting to hear, get their schedule. And I expect it to be a quick turnaround on the start date. So as soon as I get that, I'll pass that along. I don't anticipate any lane closures with that work, but we will have some impact to the sidewalk. The structure and bridge, there is a meeting on June 4th at the Whitestone Fire Department at 5 p.m. Pardon our dust meeting, just to communicate with the public about our plan there for the temporary bridge and the new bridge over Oyster Creek. I don't want to confuse the start time of that, so I'm hesitant, but I want to make everybody aware. There is a 4 p.m. meeting for county staff, fire rescue, EMS, so we can make sure we get any of y'all's questions answered before the 5 p.m. meeting at the firehouse. So you all are welcome to come to both. But if you want to have more personal, direct conversation, come at 4, and then we'll repeat the presentation at 5 for the general public. That's everything I had on my report. Do you all have any questions for me?
Any questions? Any questions? Okay, thank you, gentlemen.
All right, thank you. I'll take care.
Take care. All right, next item moving down is our school construction and activity update by Travis.
Good evening.
Good evening.
I think we got a slideshow. So lots of good progress over the past month at the school site. Weather was kind to us up till last weekend as far as construction goes. This is a photo we used last month for last month's presentation on sort of where we were from the front of the building. The next slide shows, it's kind of from a different angle, so I apologize for that. But Shows how they've completed the canopy out front, but this does show all the sidewalks that have gone in over the past month and the progress that they've made there. Again, just from a little bit different angle, you can see a few things in this photo. A couple things I want to point out. All the cars that you see, they've got everybody moved out of the main parking lot. They were hoping to get some paving in this week, but the weather earlier this week wasn't conducive for that. But what you see on all those cars is the bus loop. So a lot of people are asking questions about bus loops and car loops. So those main cars that you see are going through the bus loop. The car loop is where there's fewer cars coming up right through the center of the building, right up to the front. So that's where the car drop-off will be, and the bus loop around that green area. This is just on the east side of the building. They've prepped for the outdoor basketball court. That area is really set up for the junior ROTC. They needed a space to drill, and since they were putting that place out there, they put basketball goals out there for multi-use. This is on the west side of the building, just showing, this was taken earlier today. They're starting to grade out the area close to the loading dock, and hopefully we'll get that at least stoned before we get any more weather moving in, and hopefully paved here pretty soon. Pump station, lots of good progress this month on that. It is live, like we are, they're operating it. They had a few issues that we need to work out probably over the next week. They're quick fixes. There's some transducers that need to be relocated in the pump, and there was a small leak. There's actually two pumps in there. There was a small air leak in one of the pumps, so they're going to remedy that, and hopefully we'll be online next week. This photo was taken from last month. This is my Olivia Hall shot. I always like these. So just to show how we've come along with the grass. So last month and then this month, we've gotten into Bermuda. If you go to the next slide. We were able to get all that in. That's a practice field back behind the school. That a lot of hard work. Mr. Lee can tell you all about that, what was involved with that. But you can see some of the washout from earlier this weekend. Some of that area washed out on us, and so we've got a little bit of work to do over there. Quick view of the solar array. These are just the basis for the panels. Most of them are in place at this point. Panels will come very soon, so I would imagine by the next month we'll be have everything in place. There is a little point of contention with Dominion on this, so we've paid the fee to Dominion on getting solar online. The panels will be up, but we need to make sure that they get their equipment in on their side to be able to service the building. Furniture started rolling in this week, so a few trucks have been backing in. It's been kind of nice. We were able to use the awning and all the concrete out in front of the building. And so a lot of furniture in the academic wing. What we're doing, we're putting everything in the center of the room. Brett's allowing us to do that. We still haven't gotten our TCO, but they're able to access all the electrical and everything in the building. Go to the next slide. This is a picture of the gym. All the bleachers are installed. All the floors are down in both gyms. They just need to stain and get the markings on both the main gym and the aux gym. And the auditorium, this isn't a great picture, and I apologize for that, but they're starting to put down, same group that puts down the gym floors puts in the auditorium floors. So they're on site. The auditorium floor should be in by the end of next week. Quick shot I took of they finally got the asphalt on the track. We're looking forward to getting the rubber installed over the next few weeks. They needed to wait at least a week for the asphalt to cure before they could apply that. Now I guess it's just a dance around the weather. And again, you can see where some of the erosion from the rain last weekend came onto the track, so we've got to get rid of some of that. Last week, we got the kids involved with siding around the field. You can also see one of your board members was out there to supervise. And,
What grade is he in?
I wasn't supervised, that was me.
To their credit, the kids worked hard. We did get a lot of grass put up. We sort of hit I think everybody was done around 6, 7 o'clock that evening. And if I'd have gotten another tractor trailer load of side in, somebody probably would have taken me out back. But anyway, good shot. We did get this up, and hopefully, over the next few weeks, this will green up just as green as the photo that you saw earlier of the practice field. So a lot of people are asking about, why are we doing this? Why are you putting the side around the field versus just, seeding it? And the Bermuda holds up really good. If we get crowds on these fields, which we're expecting, not only with the football, but with the track, being able to host events and stuff like that, it's a high traffic turf material that'll be able to withstand that. And this is just a photo of the kids that were up there, mostly baseball and softball at the end of the day. And they got a day off from practice, so I think they appreciated that too. But they had a good time and were a lot of help. Any questions?
They got any questions for Trent?
We're going to be ready?
We'll be ready. Yeah, June and July are going to be a push, but we are going to be ready. The academic wing, for the most part, we could have class there next week if we needed to. It's the gym, like you saw in those pictures, the auditorium, some of the big public spaces, but we'll be ready.
So you mentioned the rubber's coming. You're speaking of the rubber pellets that goes down?
No, it's the surface material for the track.
Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, and it's very similar to the product that we used on the playground. Same process, but it's just ground up tires, and there's a resin that gets applied with that. It's not real thick. It's only like 3/8 of an inch thick, but it's a big difference between running on that and running on the asphalt.
Do you have the rubber pellets down on the turf?
We do,
already?
and we have
I
a
saw
groom.
some dark spots.
Yeah, I got a feeling that some of that got washed up a little bit,
Yeah.
Bill, during that storm. We have a groomer. We haven't taken it out of the box yet, and it's new to everybody. So, but we'll get familiar with that and being able to groom those pellets.
Brush
And
it around.
that's about the only maintenance on that turf field is applying that. They do have some cleaners. There's some machines that come out and clean the surface of the field, but I doubt we get to a point where we need that. So, and if we do, we'll probably just rent one from somebody.
Looks good. Thank you, Travis.
Thank you.
Thank you. All right, next on our agenda is our county parks update with John.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. I'll provide you updates on the progress of some of our parks project, beginning with Westland Beach. Current activity, supplemental dredge and beach nourishment is underway. Beach and dune revegetation is underway. Those items will actually pretty much wrap up the project. Friends of the Rappahannock is planning a dune planting and oyster restoration event and social on June 5th. That's next Friday at evening, 5:30 to 7:30. You all are cordially invited. They've been spreading it around to their membership. On their website, they have a registration or RSVP. You can put your name and information in. So if any of you all are wishing to attend, I can RSVP for you. Awards and recognition, I had told you previously about the winning the gold medal Virginia Governor's Environmental Excellence Award. Just recently, the Virginia Association of Counties announced that this project won an achievement award. Out of 120 or so applications for recognition, only 40 were selected, and we were lucky enough to have this project selected for that award. Really, as a nod to all the great work that this county's done to try to provide premier public access and, at the same time, resilience to protect public and private property. This is a flyer for the event next Friday. And Friends of the Rappahannock wanted to thank Docks of the Bay for sponsoring the event. And speaking of, this is Docks putting oyster shell on our oyster lease in preparation for the restoration project. They've done this twice now. They've been out there twice dumping shell. Here's some of the activity of the beach renourishment. So members of the public on social media had had questioned whether or not the beach was open or closed. The fact of the matter, the beach is only closed during active construction. So when Docks of the Bay is not out there moving material around, the beach, the signs are pulled up and the beach is open. The pier remains open, and the beach will be open on the weekends. And I think we're probably going to be wrapping this up within the next week.
I think the dredge is complete.
Dredge is complete, yeah. We'll have it done in time for our event next Friday. Here's them spreading material. You can see how nice the material's been laid out. Some more pictures. So I was out there the other day and saw some, this was earlier yesterday, had some young people out there fishing, actually Scotty George's kid. There's a load of skate, they were catching a lot of skate, and actually, from the looks of it, battling with them a little bit. Our sign's been installed. It's almost identical to the one at Harpers Creek Park and Working Waterfront Complex. And then we've put in a directional sign to show where the parking and for the beach and fishing pier and everything is. Taylor Creek Park, as you all know, you were there for the recent groundbreaking. So clearings commenced, access roads under construction, groundbreaking ceremony was held at the end of April. A reminder that substantial completion is expected around September, end of September, with final completion in October. Then you'll have another park to dedicate. It's a picture from the groundbreaking ceremony. We're very grateful to our friends and partners at the Tides Inn, New Tides Inc., for coming to the event and being part of that celebration. Here's some pictures from just the other day of clearing and road grading. Carter Cove County Park, a pre-construction meeting was held on May 8th. Reminder that target is to have the project completed by February of 2027. There will be a groundbreaking ceremony on July 17th, and at the same time, there'll be a ceremonial signing of an agreement with Friends of the Rappahannock to operate an oyster program with the Spat-on Shell tank we'll be building next to the Oyster Heritage Learning Center.
Well, John, excuse me 1 minute. It's a tentative date, groundbreaking
yes.
ceremony on July 17th. I'd like for you all to check your calendars to see if that's a good date. A time has been floated by FOR, Friends of the Rappahannock, of 11 a.m. I don't know how that's going to work with you all, so this is not set in stone. We need your input on this. So,
What, now?
I mean, if you know, maybe before the end of the meeting.
Yeah.
You know, that'd be fine.
Let us know.
Yeah.
Thanks, Don. Chesapeake Trail Park update in progress, a preliminary plan for ADA compliant trail and parking. The Bay Design Group is working on comments from Department of Conservation and Recreation. The JPA for the ADA compliant kayak launch has been submitted and will be heard at the June 11th Wetlands Board meeting. And a reminder that the completion of that JPA review process will complete the NEPA for the project, and then after that, they will finalize plans, and then following that, go out to bid for the project. This is the recent drawings of the ADA canoe kayak launch and the access to it. Here's some pictures of marking for the JPA process. Going to be a really pretty site. Hills Quarter Tennis Park update. Mr. Cornwell has given MOUs back to the community partners, and I've encouraged them to go ahead with coming up with conceptual layout for their uses of the property to aid in the negotiation process.
Yeah, one thing I wanted was a map with a timeline for the things they were going to do, so it isn't a nebulous, you know, we're going to do this project, and I wanted the specifics of, we'll get this part done by such and such, and this part done by such and such, so that we know what the plan is.
Yeah, and I've relayed that to those partners. Triway Trail update. Again, construction focus is on Phase 1B from Middlegate to Compass. We expect to select firms on an on-call contractual basis here soon. The two proposals that were submitted were from Timmons and Kimley Horn. Phase 1C, Hills Quarter to Middlegate. I think I announced last month that our VDOT TAP application was approved by the Commonwealth Transportation Board, and that funding was included in the 6-year improvement plan, which will be voted on in June. The CTB will vote on that in June. Planning focus is really on Phase 2A from Harris Road connector to Kilmarnock. Bay Design Group has been retained to do that work. That's the subject of a Chesapeake Gateways grant that we had to do right-of-way planning and preliminary engineering, including environmental. And that's really to save time and get the project shovel-ready for when we go ask for funding for that phase. We can go to whoever the funder is and say, we have a project that's ready to go into full preliminary engineering and construction. Again, working with the JROTC students and other volunteers to maintain the trail. The trail is coming up with programming, and it's going to partner with local health and wellness businesses to do walks, runs, bicycle events, to really get the community engaged in the project and in the trail itself. And that's all I have. Any questions?
Where are we with the water to the fishing pier at Whitney?
The fishing stations are temporarily plumbed. The final plumbing has been approved. Do we know when that's scheduled,
He
Olivia?
has not scheduled it yet, but it should be very soon.
Yeah, so the water is active. It's not the final product because the final product will be more vandal-proof, I guess is a good way to say it. But there is water at each fish cleaning station right now.
And also, the same contractor will be putting in a guardrail at the end of the road.
Yeah.
John, did you want to say anything about your meeting with Channel 6 and the possibility of a camera?
Yeah, actually, thank you, Bill. I was able to meet with WTKR in Richmond, which is a CBS 6 affiliate. They've expressed an interest in our community and all the great things that we have going on here. Was able to give them a tour of the county, and they've shown an interest in wanting to showcase our community, beginning with potentially a live view of Westland Beach during their weather forecasts to show there, and maybe even more to come in the future. I will say that they left thoroughly impressed with what we have going on here.
Okay. Mr. Chairman, I met this past week with Bruce Julian, and we walked Taylor Creek Park, and it's amazing how quickly that's coming along. But the meeting was more about the future and all of the vast things that we're doing and the maintenance that's going to be required to keep our parks. We want our parks to always look like the first day that we open the parks. So with that in mind, I want this board and our leaders to start thinking about maintaining these parks and what it's going to cost and what resources we need to provide to them to make sure that we just have the parks, but they're parks that people want to come to, and they're nice parks. And I'm sure that we're working on that anyway, but maybe in the near future we could see something of maybe what that maintenance plan would look like moving forward.
You all have any timeline, or what are you thinking about on the maintenance plan?
Well, right now, we're handling it with staff. We've got some part-time folks working on that. Windmill Point is addressed on a daily basis. As additional parks come online, we'll have to do something different, and we'll put together something, more specific and bring to you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Good, thanks.
The county administrator's been working on that for a few months, because
we've been in the process of talking about it before I stepped aside. Yeah, so he's aware, he's working on it.
Well, the nice thing is we don't need to reinvent the wheel because
No.
we have, I'm sure there's some great models out there that are in play
Yeah.
as we speak.
All right, any other comments, questions? Okay, thank you, John and Don, for that information. All right, next item on our agenda is the start of our public hearings. And Andrea, we've got you on the agenda for our first application, which is an application for special exception by Nicholas Gay and Amy Gay to operate an unhosted short-term rental at 3553 Weems Road, Weems, Virginia 22576, tax map 33-83 in District 5.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you.
Based on information provided by the Health Department, the existing septic system for this property can support a 3-bedroom home. The applicant has provided a parking plan showing adequate parking. In addition, there is a certificate of occupancy on file with the county, liability insurance as required by the ordinance. This is a new short-term rental, and once approved, the owner will complete the 2026 annual registry. The owner is also aware of the need to submit transient occupancy taxes and tax returns monthly. This issue has been advertised and adjoining property owners notified as required by law. To date, there are no complaints or comments on file regarding the short-term rental special exception application. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Are there any questions before we open the public hearing? Any questions, anybody? Okay. Hearing none, I move to open the public hearing on this special exception for an unhosted short-term rental. Is there anyone who would like to comment? Okay, seeing none, is there any online, Glenn? No, sir. Okay, hearing none, I move to close the public hearing.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we approve this special exception for Nicholas Gay and Amy Gay to operate their short-term rental at 3553 Weems Road in District 5.
Okay, gentlemen, you've heard the motion. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, motion carries. All right, next on our agenda, Ms. Pruitt again with a application for special exception by White Rock Properties LLC to operate an unhosted short-term rental at 3125 Little Bay Road, Whitestone, Virginia 22578, tax map 35-138 in District 3.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This company is duly registered with the State Corporation Commission, and based on information provided by the Health Department, the septic system can support a 4-bedroom home. The applicant has provided a parking plan, and there's a certificate of occupancy on file with the county. In addition, they've provided their liability insurance. This is a new short-term rental. The memo states that they will complete the 2026 annual registry once approved, but they have actually already done so. That has already been done by them. The owner is also aware that they need to submit the transient occupancy taxes and tax returns monthly. This issue has been advertised and adjoining property owners notified as required by law. To date, there are no complaints or comments on file regarding the short-term rental special exception application. Thank you.
All right, thank you. All right, gentlemen, any questions before we start the public hearing? All right, hearing none, the public hearing is now open. Is there anyone who would like to speak? Okay, hearing none, is there any online? All right, public hearing is concluded.
Mr. Chairman, I move that the application for special exception be approved for unhosted short-term rental located at 3125 Little Bay Road, Whitestone, Virginia.
All right, gentlemen, you've heard the motion. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. All right. Next item on our agenda is, excuse me, I'm sorry, I've got off of my lead page. Bear with me one second. All right, the next item is application for special exception by Oyster Creek Retreat LLC to operate an unhosted short-term rental at 235 Dragonfly Drive, Whitestone, Virginia, 22578, tax map 36-48C in District 3.
Okay, thank you. This company is also duly registered with the State Corporation Commission. Based on information from the Health Department, the septic system can support a 3-bedroom home. The applicant has provided a parking plan, their insurance, and there is a certificate of occupancy on file with the county. The short-term rental is also registered to operate with the county for the 2026 calendar year. This is an existing short-term rental, and the property is primarily hosted through Airbnb. Therefore, the transient occupancy taxes are automatically collected and sent to the county via that hosting platform. The applicant is aware of the need to submit monthly tax returns as well as submit payments directly to the county for taxes collected from direct bookings. This issue has been advertised and adjoining property owners notified as required by law. To date, there are no complaints or comments on file regarding the short-term rental special exception application. Thank you.
All right, gentlemen, any additional questions? All right, I open this public hearing. Is there anyone who would like to speak on this matter? Seeing none, is there any online, Glenn?
No, sir, Mr. Chairman.
Okay. Public hearing is closed. Is there a motion on this matter?
Mr. Chairman, I move that this special application be accepted, be approved for a short-term rental located at 235 Dragonfly Drive, Whitestone, Virginia.
All right, gentlemen, you've heard the motion. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. All right, next item is our fourth public hearing. And Ms. Hall, this is application for special exception by Whitestone Property LLC to expand an existing non-conforming commercial use to operate a boat and recreational vehicle storage yard at 2499 Maryball Road, Whitestone, Virginia, 22578, tax map 34-227A in District 4. And let me repeat that, I gave that wrong, 20499 Maryball Road. All right, Olivia.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This special exception dates back to 1960, well, excuse me, the property is dating back to the 1960s. The subject property was historically used as a storage and trucking business and has more recently been used as a contractor storage yard and as a VDOT staging area for bridge and road maintenance projects, which arrangement is anticipated to continue when the new Rappahannock River Bridge is constructed. The property owner would like to incorporate boat and RV storage on a portion of this property by creating 40 open-air storage spaces that are 12-foot by 35-foot wide. The request constitutes an expansion of an existing non-conforming commercial use. And again, this is an R1 zoned property, so this is not a rezone. According to Article 12 of the Land Development Code, the expansion, enlargement, or creation of a commercial uses and activities on existing non-conforming commercial property may be permitted with the approval of a special exception. Goals in the comprehensive plan include preserving the county's maritime heritage and encouraging and supporting recreational opportunities and related services. Staff believe providing boat and RV storage is a beneficial service that supports such goals. However, these goals fall under an overarching theme within the comprehensive plan of ensuring orderly and well-managed land use that protects the county's natural beauty, quality of life, and its communities, inclusive of preserving and protecting the views along roadways. As the southern gateway to the Northern Neck region, and because of its location within an established residential area, staff recommends consideration be given to appropriate buffering or landscaping options as part of any approval. To aid in their request, the property owner has provided a narrative explanation and a proposed site plan. Also included is a copy of Article 12, Nonconforming Uses, GIS aerial imagery, the buffering and landscaping experts from Article 22, Site Plans, Commercial, Industrial, Multifamily, and Article 26, the Highway Corridor Overlay District of Lancaster County, Virginia's Land Development Code, and a copy of the applicable section of the comprehensive plan regarding buffering and rural land use. This issue has been advertised to adjoining property, and adjoining property owners notified as required by law. To date, I have had a few phone calls to discuss the request, and the town of Whitestone was also notified. I did discuss the need for input from the town with Pat Freer. He will be providing us with this input, and based on this, staff recommends that any vote be tabled until that input can be received from the town council. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Olivia. All right, any comments, questions before we open the public hearing? Okay, hearing none, we do have some speakers signed up for this public hearing. Just want to remind everybody that there's a 3-minute time limit for public hearing comments. The time is usually monitored up on the front screen here, and staff will provide you with a 1-minute warning when you're getting down to the end. And also, if the applicant does speak on this, the time limit does not apply to them. So I open the public hearing number 4 at this time, and we've got some speakers signed up. First one we've got is Mr. Costello.
Charlie Costello, District 2. I'd like to, Glenn, if you'll put the thing up on the screen that I asked before. This is from the write-up that you have, and it talks to where the property is and where the items are. Now, you cannot see it as clearly on this particular screen. I don't know if you can enlarge that enough to bring it right down into it. And, yeah, bring it up a little bit there. Now, if you look in the blue area, caught my attention that it has 3 plots in there. 34-221, 34-221A, and 34-222. And wondered about that, so I went on the GIS, and the 221 and 221A is owned by Etta Hawkins. And the area, the 222, is owned by Teresa Haney. That I checked with the Commissioner of Revenue, and she checked with the court to see if there've been any transfers of property and so on. But how 34-227A can encompass those 3 who are paying taxes on them is something that you need to ask for or figure out what is happening, because that is what's being collected for taxes.
Mr. Chairman, if I may
Sure.
quickly interject, the GIS is not always, does not always line up with the aerial that we have. And in this case, we highlighted that area to show you, that's the area inside the fence.
Yes,
So
I
those
understand
tax-
that.
Those tax map numbers are actually outside of the fence. So it's
They're not against the property? It
Pardon?
shows it on everything that I looked at.
Right,
It
so
shows it.
in reality, sometimes GIS is not correct. And so.
So
the
that is not correct.
That's right. So what you're
Okay.
looking at, the blue area and everything inside the yellow is the actual parcel for 34227A. And that's why we colored it that way, so you could see that. The section in blue is where they're proposing the boat and RV storage. Those lots.
Are you saying
34
those roads are not where they belong? That's what you're saying.
I'm saying those numbers should actually be to the left. So those parcels are to the left of that fence line, which is the yellow.
To clear it up, Mr. Costello, the 221A and they are on the other side of Mount Vernon Road. You see
Yes.
that driveway going there?
I see the driveway.
Yeah, they are actually on the other side of that road. The fence goes right beside that driveway going down there. And
Okay.
So the GIS
Well-
is not intended to be used as actual survey lines. It is just reflective of the best information that we have at the time when it's drawn. So as properties are surveyed, we update that and become more accurate. So it's constantly a work in progress.
Well, it is a very confusing work in progress. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
We appreciate your detective work, though.
Okay, next on the speaker list is Mr. Stephen Rice.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I reside at 112 My Way Lane down in Whitestone. The corner of my property is right adjacent to the corner of where the storage unit is. I'm just having concerns, sir, with, are people going to be working on their RVs at night? Is this something that's going to be open to these people, or, we're wondering, are there going to be, is a waste receptacle going to be put in there if somebody has to dump waste out of their mobile home? And I know mobile homes is a chemical waste. So it just has some small concerns, and I'm pretty much just worried about noise, people out there. We've had people out there already. They're obviously drinking a little heavily. I don't know if they were VDOT people or what, but the language became a little foul, and, my grandson's out there playing. Well, that's about all. I said, I just have concerns. I am not fully prepared, but I just would like to voice, I do live there and I do have concerns. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Olivia, anything on his comments that you can add as far as?
So the applicant has only asked for RV and boat storage. And so the board is able to place conditions on any special exception approval. And we could get really specific with that. And I think when the town provides you with their input, they have informed me that they have at least 3 things they would like to see. So any approval could be conditioned on things like the approval of a landscape and lighting plan, the limit of storage to boat trailer and RV storage into vehicles. Boats, boat trailers, and RVs may only be stored on site and may not be repaired or maintained. We could state that. And then the town had also said they were interested in knowing if we were going to limit the number of boats, boat trailers, and RVs that can be stored on site. Now, the applicant has suggested, I think, only 40 open-air storage spaces, so we could include that language as well in that. But this, any approval, if you wish to approve, would be, it would be possible to condition it very specifically. And I would ask that the board do so that it's more enforceable if something were to change, and then it would make it easier for my office to enforce the conditions placed by the board.
And also operating hours.
And that's a good point. And the gentleman brings up a good point about waste. So we can get very specific with conditions.
Okay. All right, our next speaker on the list is Angela Rich.
Good evening.
Good evening.
My concerns is I live right next door. I am at 20461 Maryball Road. I'm right on the one side of the fence. I too have a lot of grandchildren that play out there. The most concern I had was with noise, with people being there all hours of the day and night. Also with waste, if they was gonna dump waste. And, you know, what will we be, in the summertime, what will we be smelling as, you know, it gets hot? I don't know too much about boating and stuff like that, but I just have a lot of concerns about it. And it's really close to me. We maintain the grass on that side of the fence. The grass on that side of the fence actually belongs to that building, but no one was ever cutting it, so we have kept up with it since we've been there for 14 years. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, next on the list is Teresa Haney.
I'd like to give these to the chairmen. I only have 3 other copies, so that they can see on the back page. Good evening. Hello to the board and community members that are present this evening. My name is Teresa Haney, and I live at 20521 Maryball Road, Whitestone, Virginia 22578, which is right next door to the Whitestone Property LLC of 1548 Patriot Circle, Glen Allen, Virginia 23059, for property tax map number 34-227A in District 4. I'm asking to please deny the special exception application that has been filed in this matter for RV and boat storage. As a community member and living right beside this lot, this isn't just a policy issue for me. It completely changes what I see and hear every single day and night when I step out into my front porch where my main entrance is located from my home. As a community member, I'm sorry, I would like to hit on a few quick reasons as to why expanding this commercial boat and RV storage yard is a really bad fit for our neighborhood. It's an R1 residential zone for a reason. We, the community members, bought our homes and property here expecting a quiet, family-friendly neighborhood. The notice itself points out that the commercial use is already non-conforming. Expanding it even further completely goes against what an R1 residential area is supposed to be. The adjoining fence is currently on my property, and I could easily ask for a new land survey plat on this matter. It's going to be an eyesore. Nobody wants to live right next to a massive parking lot packed with boats, trailers, and RVs. It's going to ruin the look of the neighborhood, and frankly, it's going to tank my property value along with other neighboring properties. As a community member and neighboring property owner, no one wants their property value to drop or decrease just for a business to make a quick dollar at the inconvenience of surrounding neighbors, which helps make up this community. The noise and disruption. A storage yard means people pulling in and out at all hours, hooking up trailers, RVs, and working on their boats and RVs. With this in mind, some people forget their surroundings to respect others as far as terms of loud noises for connecting and disconnecting these pleasure vehicles. Not only hook up disconnect noises, but with these pleasure vehicles, sometimes people yell or party without the concern of surrounding neighbors because people use these boats and trailers and campers as pleasure vehicles that sometimes comes with alcohol use because people use them to relax, which in turn can change your behavior. Members of the board and others do not live in the neighboring community of this lot and get to go home nightly without such disturbances. Home means a safe place or sanctuary of comfort with peace where an individual can relax and feel secure. Living right next door, my family members and I, along with neighbors, are the ones that are going to have to deal with these unwelcome repercussions of such noises early in the morning and late at night. There's a ripple effect to this. How comfortable do you think myself and other neighbors are going to feel with this in mind? I also feel that the board and others are overlooking the law code for disturbing the peace after 11 p.m. nightly, and I highly doubt that the RV and boat camper client will take this law into consideration, especially if alcohol use has been involved. There are already a couple of RV campers that are within the lot that have been there for a couple of weeks, and I've noticed that there are people staying there 2 and 3 days a night at a time, and then with their vehicle attached to make it look as though they're pulling out but don't go anywhere. At 2 to 3 days and nights per week, that can add up to almost half of any month. I see this daily as I reside right beside the property. I'm sure the current property owners are unaware because they don't live right beside this lot, and their concerns only is cash flow. That lot is not for people to reside in. If they are currently doing this now before the hearing, it goes to show how it would only intensify and it concerns me deeply. Traffic safety on Maryball Road. Trying to pull out of my driveway in a 45-mile-per-hour busy zone is already tough enough. With there not being said a turning lane there for this lot and adding a bunch of oversized, slow-moving vehicles and trucks towing heavy boats and RVs right next to my property is just a recipe for a traffic accident. VDOT requirements are very specific, and I respectfully request a traffic safety assessment specifically analyzing the turning radius and sightings of boat trailers and RVs at this location to be done at the expense of the applicant.
Ma'am, your time, it's gone over. Can you wind it up really quick?
Yes, sir, I got just 2 paragraphs, that's it. To help show clarification, I've provided an aerial picture on the back page from Google of the 2 adjoining properties of Whitestone LLC, highlighted and outlined in blue, along with my property highlighted and outlined in red. For the sake of the community members in our neighborhood, along with everyone living on Maryball Road, I ask that you vote no on the application for special exemption for the Whitestone Property LLC to expand an existing non-conforming commercial use to operate a boat and recreational vehicle storage yard. Thank you for your time and listening to the neighbors who are directly affected by this. Thank you.
All right, next on our list is Cliff Potter.
Good evening. My name is Cliff Potter. I reside at 85 Shelton Drive, Whitestone, Virginia 22578. I am one of the adjoining property owners, and the first notice I got about any of this actually was, I think 3 days ago, I got something mailed to me about it. So I've learned a lot since coming here, just about where on that property this proposed RV and boat storage site is. My concerns are similar to the other folks that have talked about the neighborhood and how you enforce the people that are going to use this area to only use it as storage. I would absolutely be opposed to any work being done on any of the things that are stored there. I know that I've had boats in storage areas, in boat yards, and I know that there are rules about how, if you're going to work on it, you have to have, like, you have to do wet sanding for the bottom paint of a boat. You have to have proper disposal of oils and gasoline, which is a major concern for me, because we all in that neighborhood, I'm not sure about the folks that live on Maryball Road, but the folks who live on Shelton Drive and My Way, we have a community well, and I wouldn't want any seepage from even accidental or whatever, seeping into our water supply. So that's a major thing for me. The property value consideration is pretty important to me. I wouldn't want, I mean, I think there's ways, 1 minute left. I think there's ways to landscape it. I was concerned when I heard about lighting. I hope that doesn't get too bright later on. And the traffic is a major concern to me. Folks trying to pull, 40 feet or evidently perhaps up to 50 feet worth of boat and trailer into that area while the bridge is under construction and lanes are closing on the other side of the river, and it just seems like a nightmare to me. So, and I appreciate the fact that Pat Freeze is going to have input to this, and I think the rest of the community of Whitestone should have input to this, because we're all affected by the traffic that this is going to generate. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, there's no one else on my sign-up sheet. Is there anyone else in the audience who would like to speak on this matter? Yes, sir.
My name's J.C. Rogers, and our family's owned this piece of property since the 60s. Please forgive my ignorance. This is the first time I've ever gone through anything like this. Our goal is not to make anybody upset. I've given several folks here in the community my personal telephone number. There was a concern about some folks out there. We did have one guy that had an RV there probably 3 or 4 weeks ago, maybe 5 weeks ago. On my way home today, I'm going to stop by there. I'm going to tell him that he has to go, just to be clear. Don't want to cause any issues. Our just end-all objective is to figure out something to get this to be some type of income-producing piece of property for our family. I mean, it's expensive to maintain this property. I mean, we've been maintaining it for a long time. Aunt Beck's father, Jack Kidd, passed away in January of 2022. I've learned more about this property here today than I have in the last forever. I didn't know all of this stuff. But to be clear, I mean, I want to have something for everybody where it mutually benefits everybody in the community, not just us or anybody else. If there's hours of operation that you guys want, we'll adhere to it. If there's shrubbery or any type of buffer zone that needs to be put in place, we will adhere to it. Whatever it is that we have to adhere to, we'll adhere to. Not trying to make anybody mad, just trying to figure out something to where we can afford to keep this place and not have to sell it, because it does get expensive. David Jones has been renting that place from us for well over, how long, back 10 plus years. And Kathy and Bay Row, they rent the little building right beside the nice lady right here on the corner, and they've been there longer than 10 plus years. It might be 15 plus years, I don't even know. Mr. Kidd, Aunt Beck's father, like I said, passed away in 2022, so every time we take a stone and roll it over, we learn something new that we didn't know before. So thank you all for the wealth of information, but we're not here to try to make anybody upset here. We're just trying to figure out something that we can do to collectively have a win-win for everybody in the community. And I do want to make it to where if y'all have questions, and I gave everybody my personal cell phone number. And on the way home today, I'm going to take care of that guy for everybody. So I apologize for any inconvenience that's been caused by anything that we've done. Like I said, our end-all objective is to create a win-win. And we appreciate whatever everybody mutually agrees on to benefit for everybody. Thank y'all.
Thank you.
Mr. Rogers, are you renting it now, currently renting it to RVs?
It's been rented. David Jones has had his RV there for 10 plus years. We have one guy that's there now. He doesn't rent from us. He cuts the grass that's there present day. And I don't know, how's there, 5 or 6, 7, 8 boat trailers over on the side where David Jones has been keeping. They've been there forever. When I say forever, I've been part of the family for like 15 years, and it's been there ever since, along with whatever stuff is in the back as well that's been there indefinitely.
Thank you.
But no, we took the website down. Yeah, thank you.
You might,
David Jones has been renting it ever since Wilson Trucking went out of business.
as a suggestion, but not a requirement, you might want to think about having a little community meeting, talking to the people and getting some ideas from them. It's good to talk to them one-on-one, but everybody has different ideas. So I've seen that work in other situations.
And like I said earlier, forgive my ignorance, I've never gone through anything like this. This is my...
Well, it's not a requirement, I'm just
Yeah.
just a suggestion.
Thank you.
Thank you. Is there anyone else in the audience who'd like to speak? Okay, seeing none, is there anyone online, Glenn?
No, sir, Mr. Chairman.
All right, we will close then the public hearing.
Mr. Chairman?
Yes, sir.
We got more concerns and questions than we got answers. And I know we're waiting on some information from the town council, but even with that information, we got some things to consider amongst ourselves, staff and the board. So with that, I'd like to make a motion to table this application pending, input from the town and what we get from staff and us.
Okay. All right, gentlemen, you've heard the motion. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Thank you all for your input. All right, next item on our public hearing list is our proposed calendar year 2026 tax levy ordinance.
Mr. Chairman, the Board of Supervisors must fix the tax rate for the calendar year no later than the date on which the next fiscal year begins, which is July 1st of this year. The Code of Virginia, Section 15.22503 requires that. Lancaster does things a little bit different than most localities when it comes to setting its tax rates. Most localities will set their tax rates by a simple resolution, a vote of the board. Lancaster actually fixes their tax rates by ordinance. Because it's done by ordinance, we're required to hold an additional public hearing, which offers the public two public hearings at budget time. And so, that's a good thing to allow the public additional comment. Because it's by ordinance, it has to be advertised twice as well, which it has been 2 weeks prior to this meeting. You all directed me during the budget process to advertise a 5-cent increase in the real estate tax rate, which takes it from the current 55 cents to 60 cents. All other tax rates will remain the same. And just for the public's knowledge, personal property is $2.04 per $100 of assessed value. Boats are basically no tax. The state code won't allow you to do a zero tax, so our tax is 14 zeros and a 1 to the right of the decimal, which equates to basically a zero tax. Machinery and tools is $1.52 per 100. Merchant's capital is $1 per 100, discounted by 50%. And all other personal property is $1.52 per 100 of assessed value. Farm equipment, farm animals, and other classes of farm items are exempted in whole from taxation. You are able to adopt a tax rate lower than what you advertised, but you cannot adopt a tax rate higher than what was advertised. If you think back to the budget public hearing last month, you authorized me or directed me to advertise 60 cents, basically to make up for the $2 million increase in annual debt service, which is basically due to the new school project and all of the county parks projects that we have underway. So you've advertised 60 cents. You can adopt something lower if you like. That's up to you. You can adopt the tax rate ordinance tonight. The attached ordinance has been advertised as required by law, and to date, other than the discussions at prior budget work sessions, I've had no further response from the public.
Don, other than the real estate, all the other tax rates are the exact same as the prior year, is that correct?
Correct.
Okay, thank you. All right, are there any other questions, comments? All right, hearing none, I will open the public hearing number 5 on the tax ordinance. And I have Charlie Costello down to speak on that.
Can I talk it from here?
We need you up at the mic, Charlie. We want everybody to hear you.
People in virtual world can't hear you unless you're up here.
And they want to see you.
Really?
They want to see you, too.
People are tired of seeing me. But I support this. You talk about maintenance, I think it's important. You're at a real key point in time, and I think it should be raised. We're doing things with schools, with teachers, with everything else, and so on. It's time now to raise it a little bit, and I think 5 cents is quite proper. Al Pollard Jr. had in the paper about the tax on the watercraft and boats and all. I'm not going to go back and fight that one again, but it would have been well to have kept it. That was my way 10, 12 years ago. I still stand by it. You're doing well. Keep it up.
Thank you, Charlie. Is there anyone else who would like to comment? All right, seeing none, is there anyone online, Glenn?
No, sir, Mr. Chairman.
All right. We will close the public hearing on this. I will entertain a motion.
Mr. Chairman, I move that the new real estate tax be 60 cents per 100 assessed value, and all the other tax rates remain the same.
All right, gentlemen, you've heard the motion. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed? Motion carries. Thank you all. All right, next thing on our agenda is the consensus docket.
I move that the consensus docket be approved.
You've heard the motion. All in favor, say aye. Aye. All opposed? Motion carries. Next thing is the consideration docket, and I would like to move to accept the expenditures for the month of May as follows. Total invoices, $5,161,100.61. Total payroll, $480,842.44, for a total of $5,641,943.05. Capital improvements of that were $4,251,394.42. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. All right, now let me get back. I'm sorry if I jumped ahead here. Bear with me 1 second. All right, next item on our agenda is the resolution of the adoption of the fiscal year 27 county general fund and capital improvement budget. Don?
Mr. Chairman, the Code of Virginia, Section 15.2-2506 requires that the board hold a public hearing on its proposed budget. You did that at your meeting on April 23rd. You've waited more than the required 7 days before considering action on the proposed budget. This budget has total expenditures of $51,408,170. The resolution of adoption lists specific departments and entities to arrive at that total. That total includes $21,976,919 for the school system, which you have approved and appropriated to them in a lump sum category. It also includes the debt service, as I alluded to earlier, total for FY27 of $6,762,789, which is $2,062,769 more than previously. This budget includes a 3% raise for all full-time employees effective July 1st. It also includes the county absorbing a 7% increase in our health insurance rates. Employees will not pay anything more for their health insurance plans. The county is absorbing that. It also includes the $232,000 to add our EMS staff to the hazardous duty retirement supplement for the Virginia retirement system. So I would ask that now that you've approved the tax rate for for calendar year 26, I would ask that you approve this resolution of adoption of the FY27 budget. Mr. Chairman, I move that we adopt the resolution for the proposed fiscal year 27 county general funds and capital improvement budget.
All right, gentlemen, you've heard the motion. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed? Motion carries. All right, next item on the agenda for Don is resolution of the appropriation of the adopted FY27 County General Fund and Capital Improvement Budget.
Mr. Chairman, now that you all have adopted the FY27 budget, you now need to appropriate the funding for that budget. The appropriations are on an annual basis. As I mentioned earlier, the school appropriation is on a lump sum basis. It's important to note that this resolution of appropriation does have a couple of safeguards under paragraphs 2 and 5 in case estimated revenues are not realized, and also likewise if policies have to be established for that to reduce expenditures accordingly. So this resolution of appropriation contains those safeguards as well. So I would ask that you approve this resolution of appropriation.
All right, gentlemen, is there a motion to approve this?
Mr. Chairman, go ahead.
You go ahead.
I
Unless
move,
you want me to.
I move that we approve the resolution of appropriation for the fiscal year 27 county budget.
All right, gentlemen, you've heard the motion. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed, like sign. Motion carries. All right, next thing on the agenda is the hazardous duty retirement benefits to full-time EMS employees. And Don, that's you.
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman. As I alluded to earlier, the board directed that this be included in the FY27 budget. As I mentioned also, it's at a cost to the county of $232,000. This is the final step in this process to have this effective July 1 of this year. This is an absolutely needed benefit. It will tremendously help with recruitment and retention of qualified staff for our EMS folks, which has been a problem over the last several years. As I stated, this is the last piece of the puzzle, so to speak, and I'd ask that you adopt the attached resolution.
Okay. I move that we accept this proposed resolution as presented by Don to provide the enhanced hazardous duty retirement benefits to full-time EMS employees.
Call the question.
All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. All right, next item is a resolution recognizing May of 2026 as the 63rd Annual Older Americans Month.
Just got that in.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. Bay Aging has requested its organizational partners to take action recognizing May 2026 as the 63rd Annual Older Americans Month. Bay Aging urges every citizen to join in recognizing the contributions of older adults, celebrating their impact on our community, and supporting efforts to help all people aged with health, dignity, and independence. In observance of 2026 theme, Champion Your Health, they further encourage residents, organizations, and community partners to promote prevention and wellness, strengthen social connections, and sharing of information that empower older adults in maintaining their health and independence. As a way of recognizing those contributions of older adults in our community and the impact they have, Lancaster County and its citizens should celebrate Older Americans Month. At this time, I'd like to invite Jennifer with Bay Aging to come up, and I can present her with a plaque with the resolution, and she can read it. She'd like to read it.
Yeah, thank you. It's a fun read, too. Yes, sir. Yeah. Good evening, Mr. Chairman, supervisors, administrators, and officials. Thank you for having me this evening. My name is Jennifer White. I am the Marketing and Communications Specialist with Bay Aging. I would like to read the resolution into the record. A resolution adopted by the Lancaster County Board of Supervisors recognizing May 2026 as the 63rd Annual Older Americans Month. Whereas Older Americans Month was established in 1963, when only 17 million living Americans had reached their 65th birthday, and many older adults faced poverty and limited access to programs and services. And whereas a meeting in April 1963 between President John F. Kennedy and members of the National Council of Senior Citizens led to designating May as Senior Citizens Month, the prelude to what is now known as Older Americans Month. And whereas historically, Older Americans Month has been a time to acknowledge the contributions of past and current older persons to our nation and communities, and every president since President Kennedy has issued a formal proclamation during or before May asking that the entire nation pay tribute to older adults. And whereas Older Americans Month is celebrated across the country through ceremonies, events, fairs, and other activities that promote connection, engagement, and respect across generations. And whereas in Lancaster County, older adults aged 60 and above represent approximately 48.8% of the population, about 5,306 residents, and the number of older adults is projected to grow to 49.2% by 2050, underscoring the importance of programs and partnerships that support healthy aging. And whereas older adults enrich our community with wisdom, experience, service, and leadership, and their continued participation strengthens our families, neighborhoods, and civic life. And whereas Bay Aging, the nonprofit area agency on aging, serving Virginia's Middle Peninsula and Northern Neck, helps older adults and individuals with disabilities live independently and with dignity in their homes and communities through a coordinated network of health, housing, and transportation supports. And whereas during fiscal year 2025, Bay Aging provided support to 3,065 residents in Lancaster County through services such as 10,940 Meals on Wheels meals served, 11,420 Bay Transit rides provided, 14,494 care hours, and 82 residents received critical housing support services. And whereas supporting healthy aging also includes strengthening community partnerships and services that promote nutrition, mobility, safety, and social connection, and recognizing the vital role of caregivers and volunteers who help older adults live with dignity. And whereas recognizing Older Americans Month renews our commitment to ensuring older adults have opportunities to remain active, engaged, and supported, and to access resources that help them live healthy, independent lives. Now, therefore, be it resolved that the Lancaster County Board of Supervisors does hereby recognize May 2026 as the 63rd Annual Older Americans Month in Lancaster County, Virginia. Be it further resolved that the board urges every citizen to join in recognizing the contributions of older adults, celebrating their impact on our community, and supporting efforts that help all people age with health, dignity, and independence. In observance of the 2026 theme, Champion Your Health, they further encourage residents, organizations, and community partners to promote prevention and wellness, strengthen social connections, and sharing of information that empower older adults in maintaining their health and independence. Adopted this 28th day of May, 2026.
Thank you so much for reading that.
Absolutely. Glad I could be here.
All right, gentlemen, you've heard the resolution. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Thank you.
Absolutely. We're going to get a picture?
Sure.
Yeah.
Was it here? Yep.
Goes to the wall.
This wall. Okay, no grumpy faces.
Yes.
Where would you like me? At the end? In the middle? No, not in the end.
I don't need it.
Okay, you're happy to be here.
Smile. One more. One more. There you go. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you for being here.
We make her the official reader of resolution.
You're hired. You're hired.
Don't leave it.
I think anybody who comes to get a resolution should read it.
Yes, I agree.
I think so.
She did a much better job than I could.
She did a fantastic job.
She can see it out there. You can't see it up here.
All right, next item on our agenda is the proposed memorandum of understanding with the Northern Neck Soil and Water Conservation District to provide agricultural assessments required by the Chesapeake Bay Act. Don, you want to give us a quick synopsis of that?
Yes, sir.
Or are you reading the resolution?
No, I'll give you a quick summary of this. As part of the county's compliance with the Chesapeake Bay Act, we undergo a review every 5 years or so. The Virginia Department of Environmental Quality requires that we provide up to 2 agricultural assessments each year to comply with the Chesapeake Bay Act. Obviously, the Northern Neck Soil and Water Conservation District has the qualified staff and expertise to conduct those agricultural assessments, and they've been doing so under a previous MOU that has recently expired. This proposed MOU will be effective until June 30th of 2031 and is needed to maintain the county's compliance with the Chesapeake Bay Act regulations.
And it's a $15,000 flat.
It's a 15,000. They've agreed to do two ag assessments each year as long as their annual contribution stays at 15,000, which it has for the past, I don't know, 4 or 5 years. If for some reason it dropped below 15,000, then the memorandum states that they would not be required to provide those ag assessments.
All right, any other questions, comments? Okay, I will make a motion then that we accept this proposed memorandum of understanding with the Northern Neck Soil and Water Conservation District to provide these agricultural assessments required by the Chesapeake Bay Act. You've heard the motion, gentlemen. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. All right, Don, next item is a proposed right-of-way agreement with Dominion Energy for Carter Cove Park.
Yes, sir, Mr. Chairman. You've seen these before with their other parks and with the new school site. In order to provide underground electrical service at the new Carter Cove Park, which is getting under construction, Dominion Energy needs a 15-foot by 284-foot utility easement across our county-owned property. It's depicted on the last page of that attached right-of-way agreement. As such, I would ask that you approve the attached agreement and authorize myself and the county attorney to execute it.
It looked like it was in the road.
It's beside the road, yeah.
But the easement included the road. It's 15 feet. away.
Yeah.
All right.
I did read it.
Okay. And I need you to sign it before you leave.
I entertain a motion.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we adopt this right-of-way agreement with Dominion Energy for the new Carter's Cove Park.
All right, gentlemen, you've heard the motion. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Thank you. Last item on this section is consideration of equalizing the compensation board funded 2% bonus recently approved in the state budget.
Mr. Chairman, you've seen these before as well. In the attachment that I included with this memo, you can see that the General Assembly recently adopted a 2% bonus effective June 1st, 2026 for all constitutional officers and their compensation board funded staffs. As in the past, whenever comp board bonuses have been given, the county usually matches those bonuses to equalize those pay increases for the other office positions not funded by the comp board. Currently, the county's full-time employees include 48% that are comp board funded and 52% that are not comp board funded. I would ask that the board match the comp board's 2% bonus for all of its full-time positions effective June 1, 2026. The total funding works out to $138,849, but $66,647.52 would be reimbursed by the comp board. So the net local expense would be $72,201.48.
All right, gentlemen, is there a motion?
Mr. Chairman, I move that we approve the total amount of $138,849 to equalize the compensation board funded 2% bonuses.
All right, gentlemen, you've heard the motion. All in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed? Motion carries. All right, next on our agenda are our board reports, and it is our board appointments. And I would like to make a motion to reappoint Edna Revere to the Wetlands Board.
Call the question.
All, thank you. I've had a brain lock twice on you.
All right.
All right, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Motion carries. Are there any other appointments? All right, hearing none. We'll move to next item on the agenda, and as soon as I can hop back here, it will be the County Administrator Report.
Mr. Chairman, I just got a couple of items. John alluded to earlier about our VACO Achievement Award for the Windmill Point site. VACO will have a representative here at your July 30th meeting. Deputy Director Katie Boyle will be here to officially present that award to you all, so we can look forward to that. I'd also like to inform you that our Lancaster County Emergency Medical Services has again received the American Heart Association's Lifeline EMS Gold Achievement Award. And Matt, EMS Chief Matt Smith is here. He can answer any additional questions about this, but I believe it's the 8th time that our EMS services has received this award. So it's just a continuing testimonial to the great job that our EMS services do on a daily basis. So that's all.
Good job. Yes, good job. Thank you, Matt.
And John also mentioned earlier, we talked about during the parks segment of this meeting, possible grand opening, groundbreaking, not grand opening, groundbreaking ceremony at Carter's Cove for July 17th. Kind of trying to kill two birds with one stone, because the Friends of Rappahannock would like to have an agreement signing there. They're going to have their oyster spat breeding tank there, and so like I said, we're looking to try to kill two birds with one stone. That'll also give some time for Zandler to get some site work done on site. It puts a little bit of separation between the Taylor Creek groundbreaking and the Carter Cove groundbreaking. So if you have had a chance to look at your calendars, July 17th, and Friends of Rappahannock has suggested 11 a.m. Does that date?
That's good with me.
I'm good.
Okay. All right. So we'll tentatively put that down, and I'll check with Mr. Bellows to make sure if that works for him as well. But the last thing, last month, I believe, Treasurer Bonnie Dixon informed you all that she's the incoming president of the Virginia Treasurers Association. They are having their conference at the Williamsburg Lodge, and the banquet is June 16th. And she passed out an invitation to all of you, and she told me, I think yesterday, that she had only gotten a couple of RSVPs back, so she wanted me to mention that to you all. So if you have not RSVP'd, please do so if you plan to attend. And that's all I have, Mr. Chairman.
All right.
Mr. Chairman, before we close the meeting, I do need to address one thing. I spoke with Lieutenant Jeffrey Haywood this week, and he was talking about the fact that we haven't had a foliage test for the new radio system that was scheduled for May, and it hasn't happened. And I don't need an update now, Matt, on this, but he mentioned that in the summertime with lightning strikes, we really can't afford to have a lightning strike on any of our towers because the parts for the old system evidently are hard to get. So at some time in the really near future, maybe we get an update on where we stand with the new radio system. And this affects not just the sheriff's office, but the EMS and the firefighters and everyone.
All right, thank you. Is there any need for closed meeting?
I have none.
You want to, chiefs, you want to comment?
You want to comment
Well,
now, Matt, or you want to wait till next
I
month?
didn't want to put him on the
I
spot.
mean, if you'd rather comment next month, that'd be
He
fine.
looked like he wanted to comment, so.
I mean, if you want to, I just didn't want to put you on the spot.
So we're essentially in a holding pattern right now. So in the middle of, Harris does what they call a dry run first, so they test the system. Everything is installed system-wise. And then during that phase, the chief engineer resigned completely from Harris. So we've been waiting on another engineer who is supposed to come June 8th and essentially review what has been done already and get familiar with the system. And then they'll resume their testing. Once that is done, we'll go into a customer testing. So it's about 80 exercises that they have to complete with us physically there. And then once that is done, we'll move into the actual coverage testing. So will be probably the first couple weeks in July. Right now, the target cutover date is August 1st. But with that, it's actually thicker foliage than if we would have been early May. So that's,
So you said August 1st is the live date?
yeah, that's our target right now. So I know he's coming in on the 8th. He's going to take a week just to review everything that's installed, finish out their internal testing, and then we'll move into a customer facing.
So our neighboring county is in the same boat as we are?
Yeah, Northumberland's in the same situation we are.
Okay,
So,
thank you, Matt.
See, Matt, coming to the board meetings like that is one reason you have to hazardous pay.
That's a good point.
All right, gentlemen, I move that we adjourn. All in favor, say aye. Aye. Thank you.